All year, I've been hearing people say that they want to wait and see what happens with the election. Well, now that we know the answer to that, let's see what the experts are saying about how it's going to affect our housing market here in Montana. All right, so I climbed all the way up this mountain to give you a better view of Montana. So the least you can do is subscribe to our channel. And when you do, don't forget to hit the little bell, and you'll be notified every time we make a new video about Montana. So during his campaign, Trump was saying that he wants to lower interest rates and increase construction and new homes around the country to help with the current housing crisis. A couple of ways he was talking about doing that was he was going to give tax incentives to first-time home buyers to help get them into the housing market. As far as interest rates go, that's up to the Fed, and that's going to depend on inflation and how the economy is doing. One of the other ways he's talking about adding housing is opening up some federal lands. Like you can see way back behind me, a lot of that is federal land out there, and he's talking about opening that up and selling that off to developers so there's more, room to build houses. I don't know how well that's going to go over here in Montana. People care a lot about the federal land and they can hunt out there and all of that. I don't think it's going to go over very well to start selling that off to developers and taking away the part of Montana that everybody loves about Montana is all this federal land and open land we have here. As far as giving tax incentives to first-time home buyers, again, that sounds like a good idea on paper. Everybody wants a break when they're trying to get into the housing market. Nobody's going to turn that down, but what that would do is add a ton more people into the housing market, and with our supply right now, it's just going to create more competition, and that's going to drive prices even higher than they are now. One of the things that a lot of people think will help the housing market that Trump said he's going to do is get rid of a lot of the regulations that go along with building in different areas, and that's going to tie into this federal land thing as well. But obviously, if you get rid of a lot of government control, that's only a good thing for the most part, but we'll see what happens with all of that. Another thing that the experts differ upon is Trump's talking about adding a bunch of tariffs to foreign goods coming into our country. Well, the problem with that, with the housing market, is we import a lot of the lumber used for construction. So obviously, if you bring in or if you impose tariffs on these different countries like Canada, and the lumber industry coming in here, it's just going to raise construction costs. And so it's going to be a trade-off is, the regulations are hopefully lowering the price, but then the tariffs are going to raise the price on this end. So again, nobody really knows how that's all going to shake out, but it'll be interesting to find out. And a lot of the experts are saying that if you do add all these tariffs to everything, it's going to increase prices for everything, meaning anything that's coming into this country. So obviously prices for goods are going to go up, whether not only for lumber, but everything, which is going to create inflation, which is going to drive the interest rates higher than they already are. So again, until all this takes place, nobody knows. But if you listen to some of these experts, they're saying that just like in the last few years when we had high inflation, the interest rates went up and it kind of slowed everything down because it took a lot of people out of the housing market. They couldn't afford it anymore with the higher interest rates. So if the rates do continue to rise, that's definitely going to slow things down. And in our area, in western Montana anyway, there's still going to be demand out here. And what's going to happen is a lot of the people coming in from out of state with cash are just going to buy up everything, kind of like they've been doing, since the locals and the working people around here won't be able to afford anything. These wealthy people are going to come in and buy everything up, and it's just going to keep the prices high. And until we get tons of new construction around here, it's just going to increase the prices because our demand, I don't think, is going anywhere. The last thing that the experts are differing upon is Trump saying that he's going to get rid of all the illegal immigration and all the illegal immigrants that are here. Well, unfortunately, in the bigger cities, a lot of those people are doing the construction. So if you get rid of all these people doing the work, that may have some bigger effects in bigger cities, maybe not so much here in Montana, but we'll see what happens. So as you can see, there's tons of things that play into how the housing market works and how the prices and interest rates go. So until we get a couple years into this, nobody's really going to know. So that's why I always laughed when people were saying, oh, I'm going to wait and see what happens at the election, because we're really not going to know the fallout from all of this, good or bad, for at least another couple years. So stay tuned. I'll keep you posted on everything. As you can see behind me, they're still building as fast as they can here. They've just approved some new subdivisions around Kalispell, some big ones, 300 home type developments. So we'll see. It's going to take some time to get all this built, and we'll see what happens with the interest rates. But if anybody tells you they know exactly what's going to happen, good or bad, don't believe them, because nobody knows. And there's a whole bunch of things that are going to be working against one another if Trump does everything that he said he was going to do. And we'll just see how it all shakes out. And hopefully all of it turns out for the best. But if not, we'll deal with what we have to deal with. So if you have any questions or want to know what's available and the current prices of homes around the area, let us know and we'll be happy to help.
Thank you for watching our video. Please call, text, or email for more information. And don't forget to watch our other videos about Montana.